Welcome back to our channel. I'm Natalia from the Honey family, and this is the Honey Table Talk. In today's video, we are joined by our dear friend Drew Jeremy, all the way from the United States, and his lovely girlfriend Moiya. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to encourage you guys to be kind to one another, respect each other, and stand up to racism. Hey guys!
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
How you guys doing? I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Well, yeah, we're good.
Very good.
I think before we start, just for our viewers, do you guys mind introducing yourselves and just telling us where you're from?
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'm Moiya from New York.
And I'm Drew, known as Drew Jeremy. I have a YouTube channel under the name Drew Jeremy, and we're from New York.
I'd love to come to New York one day. Hey, babe. I'd love to come.
Yeah. And we would love for you to come too.
And we would like to go to Australia too.
You guys don't have to lie to us, but...
No, yeah. It's always been a dream for me to go to Australia. Like, I've always talked about it. I do this, I'm not going to do it here, but because it's horrible. But I always do, like, the Australian accent, or try to.
Yeah.
You know, like the guy from, what's his name?
Steve Irwin?
Yeah, that accent. So,
Okay,
like,
you guys need to... Okay, you need to tell it. Now you gotta show us now.
Yeah, he goes like, what does it say? It's really croaky out here in the outback. You know?
Oh, that was so good.
I do that all the time. I'm like, it's really cool. Like, I would love to go see it.
That was
Yeah. I want to see koala bears.
Yeah.
I like koala
And the Aborigines and people like that, it's really cool to meet them, you know, because they're like the original people.
For sure. Yeah.
Australia, yeah, that's cool.
So rich in culture and
Right.
we like my sister actually dates an Aboriginal guy, and he's
really?
just
Okay.
like he's just the coolest kid. Like
Right.
they they're still in high school, so they're kind of high school sweethearts and whatnot. But he came over last night and he was just talking about his family and their old traditions that they still do, and how they go fishing and hunting. And I was telling him because he brought up how he's tried to snake and he eats kangaroo. Yeah, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, why don't you catch us a snake, a porcupine, like a kangaroo, and we'll have like a mukbang. I was like, that can be my next YouTube video.
Right.
Oh, but yeah, no, he's such a good kid. But anyway, we just want to know how you guys are and how you're doing and your feelings and about what's going on and yeah.
You want to go first?
You could go first.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's really hard. It's a tough time right now. I mean, with everything that's going on, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and then boom, it's like the reality struck that everything that was before it still exists, you know, at a time when people were supposed to be closer and more together to try to get out of the pandemic that we're going through. It basically our old wounds basically are showing, you know what I mean, that the country is really not together how it should be. And it's tough. Yeah, and it just adds to the stress and the pain that we were already facing with the pandemic. You're right. So, but I mean, me personally, I've been through a lot with in terms of like police interaction with police and stuff like that. So, like, do
you care to share some of your experiences?
Well, like, I've never been arrested or anything like that, but I've had interactions where it wasn't like something, it wasn't a good experience, you know, like, I feel in a sense they have this type of lens that they view you by, like, no matter what status you are, how you are as a person, your character, anything like that. They don't see that. I feel like when they see you and they see that you're black, it's like it's just one image that either you're a thug or you done something bad, or you know what I mean? Like you're up to no good basically. You could be doing anything simple, and that's the view. That's the view, how they approach you and how they talk to you. You could tell from their whole demeanor in the interaction. One example, I was around 19 years old. This is when I got my my first car and everything. It was a Honda Civic. So we were driving home, me, my cousin and I. We were in the car. So it was like 3 of us in the car, and we're all black. So you know, we're driving around. So to them, we look like we're up to no good.
Yeah.
So they stopped us and pulled us over, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, we have to act appropriately, because that's the thing. Sadly, it is. We have to basically, you gotta, don't move, don't do anything, don't fidget, don't even talk.
Wow.
Because anything like that could push them to the point where you never know what would happen. You know, you've seen it so many times. You've seen the images. You've seen so many times people pull out things like wallets and phones and stuff, and they hairbrush and they think it's a weapon, and then that's it. But so in that situation, they came up to the window. It was like 4 of them on each side. One came up to my window and asked me for my license and registration and everything. So I gave that to him, and I was asking him, like, what's the reason for the stop? Because that's something that they should tell you.
Yeah, for sure.
Why you were stopped and everything. They told me I didn't need to worry about it. It's none of my business, basically. So I'm a kid. So I just left it there.
Yeah.
So then, and at the same time, they all had their hands on their weapons, basically ready for anything. You know what I mean? And so then my cousin was in the back. He started getting upset. He's like, what is this for? Why you guys are doing this? We're just trying to go home. And the other cop was like, be quiet, because you don't want this to be harder than it has to, than it needs to be. With this voice, like, basically threatening us and telling us, like, if you don't shut up, then it could be worse. Then either we get arrested or something else happen. So then I started getting scared, and I'm like, okay, I told my cousin, just calm down, be quiet, let them do what they have to do. So they took all our IDs and everything, went in the car, and it's hard trying to talk about this. They went in the car and they looked it up and whatever, and they noticed that we had no prior criminal activities or whatever. So they came back and they gave us our IDs, and they told us, like, you guys can go. So then we started asking the question, like, what was the stop for? And all they told us, like, we don't need to worry about it, and that's it. And then just that's it. We move on. So it's like we get no respect. We like, there's no humility, basically, and the stop. You know what I mean? We're not treated as we're someone or a human.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's crazy to me.
Yeah, definitely.
That's really sad to hear that.
Right.
It's really sad, because we've been pulled over. Well, for speeding and stuff like that. And my experience, I remember one time I was pulled over for going like 10 Ks over, and you know, they greeted me. You know, they ask you, like, hey, like, how are you today? Do you know why I pulled you over? It's pretty much what they say all the time. Do you know why I pulled you over? And it's like 9 times out of 10 I'm speeding. So I'm like, oh yeah, like, it's probably speeding, you know. And then they check your license, run your number plate, and then ask, you know, is this your car? And but the whole time you're treated with respect, you know.
Right.
I've never come across a cop that I felt wasn't genuine or like didn't care, you know. Do you have an experience with a cop like that? No, yeah, like.
I don't speed.
Babe, you speed all the time. But yeah, no, our experiences with our policemen and women have been nothing to what you experience, and we just feel really saddened about that.
Right.
We just and we're not white. We're we're brown, but still we were treated with respect. And
exactly.
And I just feel really sad about what you guys experience, and it really shouldn't be like that at all.
And with this whole thing, like, don't get me wrong, there's been interactions with some police that actually treated us with respect, but for the amount of times that I've interacted with them, that's only a small amount of times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
I can only go back to like one or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ever been like that. Like that time I was stopped for speeding. It was actually with her because I had to take her to school and everything. We were late.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
He was nice. Yeah. He came up to us and he was like, you know, you were going 10 over the speed limit. And I was like, yeah, I know, but we were running late and she had to go to class and stuff like that. And he was like, he checked our IDs and everything, came back to the car. He was like, oh, I'm going to let you guys off with a warning today, but be careful.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And this was shocking to me because, you know, the thought is sad that with everything that we know, the thought is always like they're going to treat us a certain way. Like it's expected. You know what I mean? So it's like when you get someone like that, it's shocking. It's a shock. I'm like, you're right. Is he serious? Like, he's going to let us put a warning? Like, is this a joke? Yeah. But,
So
that was really nice.
That just proves that, you know, they're not all bad apples.
Right. And that's the thing. And that's what I want to put out there as well is that, I mean, there's people who have family members as police. And I have family members that are in the police force and everything. So, you know, they're people too, you know. But at the same time, I think it's like a whole systematic thing where that's what the requirements are, you know. That's what they're trained to do or trained to look for and stuff like that. I'll give you an example. In New York, they, like, in my teen years, they had this thing called stop and frisk, where at any time you could just be walking and a cop can just pull you over and just being suspicious for anything and just stop you and frisk you and check if you had any weapons or anything like that at any time, any place. It didn't matter where. So with that, a lot of people were being racially profiled because a lot of the people that were stopped and frisked were people of my skin color, either Hispanic, Black, and Asian, right? Yeah. So after years of that, the studies came out and they said, like, look, this is what's happening. We need to get rid of this law. It's not right. And that's when they got rid of it. But I actually had to live through that. I've never personally been stopped and frisked, but I know friends that's happened to, like, people who live in a certain area. It's like a everyday reality for them. Wow. Someone who lives, like, directly in the city, like, that's something that they have to go through. They probably get stopped, like, once every month or something like that. Wow. And that's a hard reality to live with. Yeah, definitely. I was lucky enough to not be totally in that type of area. So, like, my interactions wasn't as much as they would be. You know what I mean? But that goes to show, like, just me being there at any time, I still was able to experience that, and I still got into that. So just imagine someone who actually lived there every single day.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
With the whole situation, my heart is heavy because, to watch a guy get murdered on video, it's very hard to watch.
Yeah.
And, for years we've been dealing with, them killing, Black people, Hispanics, for basically no reason at all. And, I've been picked out, by a white lady. She asked me about my hair, and she was just like, "Oh, that's not all your hair." She was like, "Does it grow?" And it's like,
really?
I had to look at her. I'm just like, Black people are not bald. We're bald by choice. We add things to our hair to enhance our beauty. It's a part of our culture to braid our hair and stuff like that. And then they asked me about my hair, like, "Oh, you must be mixed to have long hair," or,
Wow.
Yeah.
Who was she? Was she just a random lady, or?
She was like I think she was a family member of a patient of where I used to work.
Okay.
Yeah. And, I had to just laugh it off because I couldn't get to answer her the proper way, but, so.
Just ignorance.
Yeah, I had to just laugh it off and just say, not all Black people are bald, We all should be equally treated. We shouldn't be labeled as, "Oh, you're Black, you must be harmful." Not all Black people are harmful. Not all Black people are evil. So to see police brutality, especially on Black people, it's really sad to watch. It really is.
Yeah.
I have nephews. I have one that's 19. I'm scared for him driving. I'm scared for him when he's driving. Like, I always be like, "Where are you? Are you home? Are you at work?" Like, I really have to know where they are because, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And really sad.
Oh,
I have a
really
dad, he even got stopped by cops for no reason. And they said to him, they were like, "Oh, sir, you're walking too fast." And in New York is long. So he was on his way to work. All of a sudden, the cop stopped him. "Oh, sir, you're walking too fast. Let me check your bag."
Wow.
Yeah. And he was like, "I'm walking too fast? Like, this is New York. I'm trying to go to work."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, you look suspicious."
Oh, my
And
God.
they tried to search him. And luckily, they didn't really put up a fight with him because he told them, "My son is a cop," because my brother is a cop. And he's like, "My son is a cop," and that's how they backed off.
Wow.
It was just really sad to hear him go through that.
Yeah, definitely. I watched the George Floyd's murder online as well. And do you remember when he walked in on me? I was in bed. Reggie was having breakfast with Indy, and I was still in bed, and I was literally curled up in a ball watching it, and I just felt so sad, and I just didn't want to do anything. And I literally cried. Reggie comes up to tell me that breakfast is ready, and I was like, I just watched the saddest thing, and oh my God. And then he just turned around and closed the door, and I was like, "Oh, babe." But it was until later I showed him what I was watching, and he was just like, couldn't believe it. But it honestly affected me, and it still affects me. Like, this is why I went to the protest that we had here a couple days ago, and I took Indy, and I just wanted to, because it made me mad. It made me really angry.
Yeah.
And to see that they hadn't arrested or prosecuted any of the policemen straight away. I felt that, you know, people in Australia felt the sadness and the anger that you guys were feeling. So I just felt I had to be at the protest, and I had to stand with you guys in solidarity. And I think what got me the most was when he called for his mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it literally tore me apart, and then I didn't know that his mom had passed till later on. And it just really affected me. Out of all of the murders that happened, you know, that one kind of really got me.
I think because we were able to like see the time that it took, you know, I mean, and you can just see his face. Like, I was looking at his face and I'm like, how can he do this? And he's screaming, he's begging for his life. And his whole demeanor is just like, he doesn't care. Like, it doesn't affect him at all.
He had his hands in his
like, there's no,
I know.
you know, nothing like how are you human to even do that? And it just goes to show like how they view us, how they view people, you know.
And he wasn't resisting.
Right.
Yeah.
So they had no reason for that.
He was handcuffed, everything.
Even if he was resisting, you have no right to kill somebody.
Exactly. I mean, a knee to someone's neck, like.
Right.
That's
for almost 9 minutes.
Right.
That's heartless.
Yeah.
For sure. So I wanted to do a little thing with you guys.
Okay.
It's did I send it to you, Mitt? Mm-hmm. Alright, let me know if you guys can hear it.
Put a finger down if you have been called a racial slur.
Can you hear that?
Put a finger down if you've been followed in a store unnecessarily. Put a finger down if someone has
can you
crossed
put
the
it
street
a bit closer, maybe to the mic or something?
Okay, so I'll see if I can put it here. Oh, pass me this. The Wheat Fix box. Do you remember that? I'm gonna use that. Okay, so you've probably seen this, but basically we'll start with like our fingers, 10 fingers up, and then as she goes along, like put a finger down if it applies to you. But we will do this.
Is this gonna be on TikTok, or are you just gonna?
I'm just gonna like have it like play it, and then.
Okay.
But it'll just be us on here.
Okay.
Get your hands ready. Okay. So starting.
Have to go back.
Okay.
Check your privilege edition. Put a finger down if you have been called a racial slur. Put a finger down if you've been followed in a store unnecessarily. Put a finger down if someone has crossed the street to avoid passing you. Put a finger down if you've had someone clench their purse in an elevator with you. Put a finger down if you've had someone step off of an elevator to keep from riding with you. Put a finger down if you've been accused of not being able to afford something expensive. Put a finger down if you have had fear in your heart when being stopped by the police. Put a finger down if you have never been given a pass on a citation that you deserved. Put a finger down if you have been stopped or detained by police for no valid reason. Put a finger down if you have been bullied solely because of your race. Put a finger down if you have been denied service solely because of the color of your skin. Put a finger down if you've ever had to teach your child how not to get killed by the police. Any fingers left? That's privilege.
Wow.
So how many fingers?
Check your phone.
So you guys have 1. And how
Right.
many did you have? And you had 8.
Yeah. Wow. It's hard. Like when
Crazy.
you go through everyday life, like you don't really notice it, but to like put it all in one right now and to see everything that's happened, it's just
Like,
sickening, man.
me listening to that, I just think, I just can't fathom how you guys feel. You guys are so strong. You guys are positive. You guys are, like I don't think going through what you guys go through, I don't think I would be as optimistic and positive, and but I guess like that's, you guys have to be, right? Otherwise you would just not be happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I give credit to my parents too, like the way how they raised us, the way how they raised us to think and to care about family and to basically look out for one another, you know, so, and to expect that in a sense where it's bad, but we know. And once you know something, it hurts a little less, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you know what to expect, you know what the world is like. So it's like, don't really let it bother you. Yes, it's a problem, but we can do our own thing and live above that, you know? Just like Michelle Obama said, like whenever they go low, you go high.
Right.
So that's my thought on everything. That's what I would love to inspire other people to do, you know? Like don't let what's going on put you down and
keep you there.
Make you keep you there, exactly. Because that's what they want, you know what I mean? That's when you let them win. That's when you let them, what they say to you actually affects you and change you and turn you into something that you're really not. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're someone, just you being born, you're already a champion. You know, I've seen things that people say, it's like what, 1 million sperms you had to raise, and you made it. So you're like the champion. You know what I mean? Each person
I love that.
went through a race and you won just being born.
Yeah, you're the chosen one.
You're the chosen one. So that if you can hold on to that and know that I'm a champion, I matter, I'm someone. Hold on to anything that anyone says to you or try to put you down should never affect you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We can wrap it up. Oh my god, it's like 1 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, it's 1 p.m. here.
Babe, do you want to close the video?
By what?
Just say thanks.
By saying goodbye?
Yeah.
You say goodbye.
He's still camera shy. He's still trying. I'm still trying to get him to like.
Yeah.
I need to get him drunk. And then he won't stop talking, seriously. Alright guys, take care.
See ya.
Thank you guys. See ya. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know we had a few missing segments due to technical issues, but I hope you guys learned a few things from Moiya and Drew's experience, and we'll see you guys in the next video.